Hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. So in this video, you are going to understand how to add attachments to Trello cards from Google Form responses. So are you also using these applications for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here I'm doing the same. I'm running a marketing agency, and for that we make marketing materials for our clients. And now I want that as soon as my client uploads the file in the Google Form with their client details, automatically with the help of same details, a new card should be created in my Trello account too. So for this we are going to create a connection between Google Forms and Trello. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So I'm going to do this because I can organize things better with the help of this automation. So if you also wish to learn this process step by step, then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video we are going to understand how to add attachments to Trello cards from Google Form responses. So as you know that I run a marketing agency and we create various marketing materials for our clients. So now to keep everything organized, we use Google Forms for clients to submit their documents. And for each submission, we need to create a Trello card and track and manage the assets and the information. So over here what I want is that as soon as my client fill in this form with the document they want to attach. Suppose I've created a Trello card right over here for bamboo utensil set launch. So my client send the details of the product right over here in the Google Forms, and with the same I've created this card. And this way all the documents can be neatly organized in Trello, allowing my team to easily track and progress each project and ensure timely delivery of creative materials. So to do all of this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And now it is opening my dashboard. And to start with the automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to add attachments to Trello cards from Google Form responses. And then we are going to click on create. And as soon as you are going to click on create, you can see that it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window of our automation because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So that's why we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So this means that the trigger commands the workflow and the actions are response towards that command. So now we are going to move on towards our automation. For the trigger application, we are going to select Google Forms right over here because I want that as soon as my client submits the Google Form, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as new response received. And as you can see that now it is giving me a webhook URL. So you are going to use this webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Forms account and our Pabbly's workflow. So first we are going to follow this help text to connect our Google Forms account with our Pabbly's workflow. So I'm going to copy this webhook URL and then we are going to open our Google Forms. And over here you can see that this is my form which I have created to send to my client. And now I want to create this automation for this particular form only. So now I'm going to go on responses right from here. And as you can see, view in sheets, because I've already linked my form with my Google Sheets. That's why it is saying view in sheets. So if you haven't linked, you are going to get the option of link with sheets. And as soon as you're going to link it with sheets, you can see that something like this window will appear right over here. And over here, we are going to create a connection between Google Forms and our Pabbly's workflow with the help of this spreadsheet only. So now what we have to do is we have to go on extensions and then add-ons and then get add-ons. So we are going to add an extension right over here to connect our workflow with our spreadsheet. So for that, I'm going to search for apps right over here, which is Pabbly Connect Webhooks. And as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. And as you can see that this extension is already installed in my spreadsheet. Over here, you can see that it is giving me the option of uninstall. So if you haven't haven't installed this, you're going to get the option of install right over here. And as soon as you're going to install this, you're going to refresh this spreadsheet. And as soon as we are going to refresh this, we are going to go on extensions. And as you can see, Pabbly Connect webhooks appeared. And now from here, we are going to go on initial setup. And as soon as we are going to open the initial setup, it is asking me to select the sheet, webhook URL, and the trigger column. So as you can see, the name of my sheet is form responses. So I'm going to select the same right over here. It is saying webhook URL. So we are going to paste the URL we copied from our workflow, and now it is asking me for the trigger column. And in the help text, it is saying the trigger column will be your final data column. So for me, the final data column is G. So I'm going to enter G right over here. You have to enter your final data column, and then we are going to click on submit. And as soon as we are going to click on submit, you can see setup configured successfully. So yes, with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Forms account and our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is saying waiting for webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to do this test submission, I'm going to open my sheets again, and now from here we are going to go on extensions, and then over here you can see the button of send on event. So we have to switch this button on so that as soon as a new event occurs right over here in my spreadsheet, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So now what we have to do is we are going to do a test submission, and for that I'm going to open my Google Forms, and we are going to click on preview form. We are going to do the test submission. So for that I'm going to keep the name as demo user right over here, and then for the email I'm going to keep it as demo@pabblytunes.com. We are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the due date, so I want the due date to be 05/10th 2024, and then we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the project name, so I want the name of the project to be Natural Glow Vitamin C Serum Launch. And now it is saying to upload the document, so I want to upload the document of my product so that it is helpful in creating the creative with the help of the same product picture. So I'm going to upload the same right over here, and as you can see that this is my product picture, so I'm going to upload it right over here. And now it is saying provide any additional details, so I'm going to provide the description for the same too. So I'm going to enter it as this creative is for our Instagram ad campaign promoting the vitamin C serum. And yes, we have successfully did this. So now you're going to click on submit, and as soon as we are going to click on submit, you can see your response has been recorded. So this means that Google Form has sent the details of our response to our spreadsheet. So I'm going to open my sheets, and yes, you can see the response has been recorded right over here too. You can see all the details that we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully did the test submission, and now what has been done is that as soon as the details are added right over here, which means as soon as a new event occurred in my sheets, automatically the details have been sent to my workflow. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response of these details or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has also captured the details of the same response. Over here you can see the trigger column, over here you can see the timestamp, over here you can see the spreadsheet name. We are going to move on forward. Over here you can see enter your name, which is demo user. Over here you can see the email address, over here you can see the name of the project, the due date, and also over here you can see the description that we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now we are going to move on to our action step. So for our action application, we are going to select Trello right over here because I want to create a Trello card with the same details. So I'm going to search for it, and then we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as create a card with plain text type description, and then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see that now it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Trello account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the username, API key, and the token. So to get all this, we are going to follow the help text, and it is saying enter the API key here, log into your Trello account, go to your developers key, click power up admin portal, then generate the API key. So as you can see that there's a hyperlink right over here inside developer key. So I'm going to click on this developer key hyperlink to get my key. And as soon as we are going to open this, you can see that this is my personal key. So I'm going to copy this same, and then we are going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And as soon as we are going to paste it, yes, we have successfully pasted the API key. And now we want the token and the username. So for that, it is saying enter the token here. The token will be generated manually. Learn more. So we are going to click on this learn more hyperlink, and over here you can see the directions to generate your token. So I'm going to also show you For that, we have to open our developer API key again, where you can see token and also a hyperlink of the token. So we are going to click on this token hyperlink, and yes, you can see over here is my username. So I'm going to copy this username right from here, and then we are going to paste it in our workflow in the username section. And now we want the token. So again, we are going to open the authorize, and over here we are going to scroll, and as you can see that it is saying me to allow. So over here it is asking me for some permission. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for. So yes, I'm going to click on allow right over here, and as soon as you are going to click on allow, you can see that this is my token. So I'm going to copy this token, and then we are going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And yes, you can see that we have entered all the details, and now we are going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save, you can see that we have successfully connected our Trello account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the board. So over here I'm going to open my Trello account for you. For that, I'm just going to close these applications I used for API keys, and now I'm going to open my Trello account. And as you can see that this is my Trello account, and this is my board, which is social media. So I'm going to select the same board right over here which I want to create this automation for, which is social media. So I'm going to select it, and now it is asking me for the list ID. As you can see that there's a single list right over here in my board, that's why it is selecting the list ID on its own. But if you have multiple lists, it is going to give me the option to select one. And now it is asking me for the name. So it is saying enter the name of the card. So I want the name of the card to be the name of the project. So I'm going to map the same right over here. So mapping is a method by Pabbly, which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step, where we selected Google Forms as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as you are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm going to give you an example. Right over here, you can see that in front of name, I want to enter the project name. So suppose I'm going to enter the project name as XYZ right over here manually. Then this will not change with every new response received, because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if I'm going to map it from the previous response, suppose I'm going to open the project name, and over here you can see the project name, which is Natural Glow Vitamin C Serum Launch. So suppose I'm going to map it from the previous response, then yes, this will definitely change, because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And now it is asking me for the description. So I want the description to be right over here. You can see that this creative is for our Instagram ad campaign promoting the new vitamin C serum. If you don't want to add the same right over here, you can add any another thing in your name and the description as per your needs. And now it is asking me for the position. So it is saying select the position of the new card. So this means that what I want is that I want the new card generated on the top or the bottom. So here you can see that there are the two options. So I want it on the top, so I'm going to select the same. And now it is asking me for the member ID and the label ID. So as you can see, both of these are not the required fields, so I can leave it as blank, and I'm going to leave it as blank. And now it is asking me for the due date. So yes, we have the due date, so I'm going to search for due date, and as you can see the same, so we are going to map it. You have to keep in mind that in the help text it is saying enter the due date for the card in month, date and year format. So yes, I've entered it in same only month, date and year. So yes, we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the URL source. So we are going to map the attachment. Over here you can see upload your document. So this is the attachment. So I'm going to map this, and over here you can see enter the URL starting with HTTPS. Or you can see that you have to map the URL starting with these two only. So I've mapped it with this only, and then we are going to click on save and send test request to create a card. And as soon as we are going to click on this, you can see that we have successfully created a new card, and this is a positive response. So I'm going to open my Trello and check for the new card created under the social media board. So over here you can see that yes, a new card has been created. Over here you can see also the due date for the card. So I'm going to open this card for you. Or you can see the due date, you can see the description right over here, and also you can see the project name. We are going to open this Google Drive link to check for the same product image. And yes, you can see that this is the same product image of our vitamin C serum. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. But I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So to do this, what we are going to do is we are going to open our form, and we are going to do another test submission. So I'm going to click on submit another response, and we are going to do the test submission with the new details this time. So for the enter your name, I'm going to keep it as test user this time. So I'm going to enter it. For the email address, I'm going to keep it as test@pabblytudes.com. We are going to move on forward towards the due date. And now for the due date, I'm going to keep it as, we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the name of the project. So I want the name of the project to be Fit Flex Smart Water Bottle Launch. And now it is saying upload your document. So I'm going to upload the product image right over here. So I'm going to upload the product image. Over here, you can see that this is my product image. So I'm going to upload it right over here. And yes, you can see product to JPG. So I'm going to open this image for you to show you the image once. And as you can see that this is my image I have uploaded. So yes, after uploading this, it is asking me for the description. So I want the description to be this. And now after entering all the details, we are going to click on submit. And as soon as we are going to click on submit, you can see your response has been recorded. So this means that we have successfully did the test submission. And now what has happened is that Google Form has sent the details of our submission to our spreadsheet. Then further Google Sheets forward the details to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further created a new Trello card with the same details. So I'm going to open my Trello and check for the new card created. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly open my Trello and we're going to go back. And yes, you can see Fit Flex Smart Water Bottle Launch. Over here you can see the due date that we entered, which is October 6th. So I'm going to open this, and yes, you can see the description right over here. We're going to look for the attachment, which was the product image. So I'm going to open it, and yes, you can see that this is the same image. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and I'll just summarize the workflow for you once. For the trigger application, we selected Google Forms. For the trigger event, we selected new response received. For the action application, we selected Trello, and then for the action event, we selected create a card with plain text type description, because I wanted that as soon as a new response is received in my Google Forms, which means that this is the form that I've created with the due date, email, name, over here the project name, document, and the description of the project. So I want that as soon as the details are submitted right over here by my client on this form, automatically with the help of same details, a new Trello card should be created. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here you can see the two Trello cards I created during this video. Over here you can see the due date that we entered. Also you can see that we have the attachments too right over here in both our Trello cards. So where you can see the another attachment too. So yes, with this we are successful with our workflow, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video is helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.